Hello peeps, and welcome to another Q&A with Shadowhunting Dauntless. First things first, I want to give my awesome friend a shout out for buying me this amazing shirt for Christmas. I've been wanting to wear it in a video and finally got to. So, yeah. So, thumbs up, comment if you think my friend's awesome. Anyway, okay. That was really random. So, I have some questions, which is what you probably tuned in to see. Alrighty, the first one would I spend the day with a fan and just chill with them? I totally would love to spend the day with some random fangirl and or fan guy. I think it'd be really cool to hang out with someone who, doesn't, or does have the same comments and interests as me and, won't, judge me for knowing all these runes and other nerdy stuff. The next one is, in City of Heavenly Fire, if Magnus loses his immortality, he will die. But Jim has the Heavenly Fire burn away the demon poison and is no longer a silent brother. Why doesn't he die? P.S. I'm glad he didn't. I don't particularly know the answer to that because I'm not Cassandra Clare. But my own humble opinion here is because I think the way that their immortality was stripped, because Jim, or Brother Zacharias, was taken away with something pure, like the Heavenly Fire, and Magnus's would not have been taken away with something pure like that. It would have been taken away with, for reasons that weren't good. Of course, that's just my humble opinion, so let me hear your opinions on that. I'd love to know that. Why do I think that Jim doesn't tell Emma that they're related? Also, why doesn't Tessa tell Jace? Okay, so I'm going to answer that question in reverse. Tessa doesn't tell Jace something to do with Jace's father, because I read this extra little thing that took place afterwards, after the books ended, and Tessa says something about she didn't speak to Jace because she knew who his father was. And I don't know what that has to do with anything, but whatever it is some reason that, that's the reason. It's something to do with Jace's father. I have no idea what, but something. As far as Jim and Emma, I have no idea. I think he may have mentioned something about needing more time or something like that, because, he just, came from being a silent brother, and he's had all of these years of not really being able to fill. And so I think maybe he just wants to let them all have some time, let himself have some time, let her have some time, and that whole thing. What would you do if one day someone stole all of your books? I would probably cry for a really long time, and I would report to the police, and I don't know, I would offer a very big reward. What would you do if 10 pages had been ripped out of the end of the book and you can never find out how it ends? Would you write your own ending, guess, etc.? I would probably first Google and search everywhere for someone who had read the book who could tell me. I might write the author like Hazel Grace did in that book that I suddenly can't think of the name of, Fault in Our Stars, or I don't know. I am a writer, so I'm on the side, so I might write my own ending. I probably wouldn't actually write it down, physically write it down, but I'd probably, if I wasn't able to find it online, the actual ending, I'd just make up something in my head. I probably wouldn't actually write it down, on paper. What would you do if you saw Jace walking on the street? First I'd probably fangirl and I'd freak out, and I would probably stalk him and try to get a picture of him. And yeah, I might finally end up talking to him and beg him to take me back to the Institute and let me become a shadow hunter. But I'm not for sure, for sure. But I would definitely stalk him for a little while and be texting my friends oh my gosh, you'll never believe who I saw and stuff like that. If I could date any TMI or TID character, taken or not, who would it be? That is a hard question. It's a toss-up between Jim, Will, Alec, and Jace. No, I don't know. It would probably, honestly, I love Jim, I love Will, But it would probably be a toss-up between Alec and Jace, and the only thing that would stop me from Alec is his particular taste. He might not exactly want me. If that didn't count, and I could just have him, then yes, I would take Alec, because, I mean, you all know how much I love Alec. But I do love Jace too, and Jace is extremely sarcastic, and I love that about him, and I just love I just love him. I love everything about him, mostly everything about him, but I love Alec too. So it would be between those two, definitely. Though Will, I mean, he reads all his books and stuff, and Jim's music, and, oh, yeah. So, and speaking of, I was rereading City of Bones. Well, I'm still rereading it, but I was rereading it yesterday. And it was the part where Clary wakes up, and she's going down to, or she's trying to find Hodge, and she ends up in the room with Jace playing the piano. And the first thing he says, he's like, "Alec, is that you?" And it made me think about in TID, where Jim is playing his violin, and Tessa walks in, and he has his eyes closed, and he goes, "Will, is that you?" And I just thought that was really neat, and I'm pretty sure I've seen like a pin or something on Tumblr or something like that about it before, but I just thought it was really cool, and I'm not sure if Cassandra Clare did that on purpose. I would really like to know if she did, and I would like to know your thoughts about that, because I just think that's something really cool. So that's all my questions for this week. Leave comments and questions for next week, and go like my YouTube page and subscribe. And I'm having some weird internet issue that's taking like literally 3 days to upload a video to YouTube, so I'm trying to get that figured out. So once I do, then these videos will be posted on YouTube. Unless you're currently watching on YouTube, then it has already been posted on YouTube. In that case, rate, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Have a great night.